What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy, Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. We're about to take off and class is in session. Well, this is the day after Christmas special. I was going to do one on Wednesday, but I decided to just chillax and do nothing since I'm a very busy man normally. You know, this is actually my vacation time. So I decided that I was going to wait a little bit, just kick it up a little bit more, enjoy my Christmas Eve, and do the thing. And shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to all of you in YouTube land. Shout out to my friends, family on the East Coast, in the Caribbean, in the South, and out West. All of you, I love you all and I appreciate you greatly. But we got a bevy of topics to talk about today. I don't even know how long I'm gonna go today, to be honest with you. But one of the things as a personal trainer, as a fitness expert, one of the things that I cannot stand, absolutely cannot stand, is hypocrisy, right? Now, your boy Julien is not a hypocrite. He tells you the truth. Do I indulge in snacks? Yes. Do I indulge in junk food every now and then? Yes. Do I partake in alcohol every now and then? Yes. Never lied to y'all about that. It is measured, though. Everything is measured. I don't go crazy and eat a whole bunch of snacks all day long. I don't go out of my way to just, crash out and drink myself into oblivion. I don't, eat fast food until my eyes fall out of my head. I don't do any of those things. And I also do not judge people merely on their size. One of the things that I cannot stand is not that you're even going to be, that you have a preference, right? I understand everybody has a preference. I myself have several preferences. However, what I don't do is be critical or pass judgment on individuals, especially when I myself don't meet the standard. I'm going to repeat myself. When I myself don't meet the standard. So for instance, if I was to sit here and tell a woman that I was interested in outside of my wife, because I'm married, but I'm not interested in other women. But if I were to be interested in other women and I was single and I come across a woman that is shorter than me, and I say I don't date women that are shorter than me, or in other words, actually better yet, I don't date women that are taller than me. How hypocritical am I that I'm not willing to date somebody that is outside of my range when the individual in question is willing to date me? So for instance, if I was to meet a woman that happens to be, say 6 feet tall, which is well beyond my height range, meaning my height, if she happens to be 6 feet tall, but is interested in me, which has happened, by the way, and I was like, I don't mess with you because, kind of tall. You see my point? But yet, we find ourselves in positions where we tend to pass judgment on individuals as a result of their size. So one of the things that I can't stand is that, right? So we're going to go on to an episode of Pop the Balloon and show love or find love. And I'm going to point this out. So let me share my screen with you and we're going to go to town.
eating. Okay. Fine dining here and there is okay.
You can be my wife.
Hello, welcome in. Hello. What's your name?
Hello. My name is Marixa.
Marixa?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
And where are you from?
I'm from Houston.
Houston, okay. What do you do?
I'm a real estate broker and mortgage lender.
Nice, very nice. What are some things you like to do for fun?
Fitness.
Okay.
Fitness is very, very important. Volleyball, skating. I just incorporated jump roping in my fitness routine. Okay. So I just kind of like turn up the volume when things are feeling like they're a little bit easy for me. Picnics. I love picnics. Simple is bliss for me. So I'm not a foodie. I'm not a foodie, guys. So I don't get turned on or get pleasure from eating. Okay. Fine dining here and there is okay, but I'm really simple.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. And what are some things you look for in a man?
Someone who has integrity, hygiene, someone who is emotionally intelligent. That is super, super important. I like a very masculine man. Okay. One that is into health and fitness, and it doesn't need to be to my degree, but if it's basketball, as long as you're active, you're moving around, cycling, that's something that I do love too. So as long as you're active and you care about yourself, then we all good.
Okay. And what are some of your deal breakers?
Men who are not supportive, who are not financially savvy. So I'm in a new era in my life to where I'm on the road to financial freedom, and I am just about there. Yes. Like no debt at all. I'm not attracted to men that seems to not have the priorities in order, as far as like drowning themselves into more debt and more debt and more debt. We're going to end up clashing. Okay. A man who doesn't understand the significance of Jesus Christ. I know I watch the show a lot, and I hear a lot of people say that.
Now I'm gonna stop real quick, real fast, because one of the things that she's going through a lot of requirements, but I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment on the requirements because they sound reasonable. There's nothing that she said so far for what she wants sounds outlandish. It doesn't sound like she's living in La La Land or Lulu Land or whichever version of that land you want to recall for it. But I'm going to get to the point here shortly, but let's keep going.
You have to have a relationship with God, but in order to get to the Father, you have to get through the Son first. So
it's just like the fitness statement. I just made.
Start here. We can have
their life.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So okay. Let's head on over there, see why they ended up popping.
So 2 men popped, right? Off of what she said. Now, mind you, nothing she said sounded crazy. So first of all, you just disqualified yourself on some lame stuff, right? But that's beside the point. But let's keep going.
Okay, let's start here. We can have your name and age.
My name is Brandon, and I'm 40.
All right. Brandon, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Basically, I think the eyebrows drawn on a little thick to my liking. Okay. And then, like, she said she's 41. I would have gave her a little more than 41, just off initial. I thought she was older than that. Probably the persona she looked like, she's mature and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just made 40 myself. But then it's just like the fitness statement. I know I'm not the most fit person. But I've dealt with that in the past. And when I work out with a lot of women, they can't keep up with me in the gym. But they really want somebody to just look fit that ain't really like got the stamina. I got the stamina. And something I judge about women, not judging, I know you got your waist trainer on, so I can't really tell your fitness level. But the little, right there, that's gonna tell it every time. So like you ain't all that fit to be saying you need somebody to be fit like that.
Have you seen you? No, buddy, for real. Like, have you seen you? I mean, for real, bro. Like, for real. No. Yo Tiggo Bitties is almost as big as hers. You got yo titties showing through a leather shirt. That's how not in shape you are. But you have the nerve to point out that her arms got a little wave to them. Now, first of all, Women are supposed to have a little bit more softness to them, but she ain't flexed yet. I haven't seen her flex. You talking about she's got a waist trainer on. I mean, even if she has a waist trainer on, what are we on right now? And as a matter of fact, I'm not particularly sure she has a waist trainer on. Honestly. I mean, she looks nice in her dress. She didn't say she's a world beater. Now, she said that she's basically saying that you can't be on the couch. That's all she's saying. She's not saying that you can't be normal looking. You don't got to be shredded and jacked and ripped, but at the same time, what she's saying is you got to be active. You got to have an active lifestyle. You got to be willing to go through some things with her. Go ride a bike with her every now and then. She likes to skate. She likes to jump rope. She didn't say she's the world champion jump roper. She didn't say she was a bronze medalist at the Olympics in cycling. She didn't say she's a world record powerlifter. She didn't say none of that. She didn't say none of that. All she said is she wants a man that's active, plays a little basketball, does a little something, maybe plays soccer, maybe runs track a little something, plays semi-pro football or something. Nothing dramatic, but something that, lets her know that he ain't on the couch eating bonbons, playing video games every goddamn day. That's the difference here. That's all she's asking for. But yet, you had to come out of your face and be disrespectful, talking about what she ain't. She didn't say nothing about you specifically. She didn't disrespect you, bro. She didn't tell you. She didn't say no tubbies allowed. If she said that, then fine. Then I could feel you feeling some type of way about being called a tubby and being judged by how you look. When she never mentioned how one looks. She mentioned being active. Fitness is a part of her lifestyle. She did not say you gotta be shredded. She didn't say you gotta look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. She didn't say you gotta look like John Cena. She didn't say you gotta look like Brock Lesnar. She didn't even say you gotta look like me. For the simple fact of the matter is, she just said you gotta be fitness minded. She says she's not a foodie. She doesn't go out eating ridiculous. She doesn't take pleasure in eating. She just eats for the purpose of fuel. That's all she said. Tell me where I heard something different. Tell me where I heard something different. Then maybe I might be willing to give this dude a pass. But so far, no, absolutely not. But anyway, let's keep going.
I just got to keep it real.
Okay. And now, is he someone that's your type?
No.
Okay,
No.
And why not?
The lips and the fact that you said that you're not into fitness. So fitness is, to me, it's not about the look. You can be slim or you can look fit and you're unhealthy. So fitness is not a look. It's you caring about yourself. I want to address the waist trainer because it was so funny back there. They asked me if I had on a waist trainer. I have no waist trainer.
Thank you.
Oh, my bad.
Thank
No
you.
waist trainer.
Thank you. So first of
and my
all,
brows are
and
not.
then on top of that, dummy, she's flat. You saying she looks older than 42? She don't look older than 42 to me. I'm 48. She don't look under 40. She don't look over 42. She's letting you know this body's bodying. Like I said, I can see the fupa a little bit right there. Let me use my finger. That looks wrong. Never mind. I'm gonna stop doing that. But let me get to the. Here we go. Right here. You could see the softness right there. That means she's a little on the soft side, but she's not. She's not a dough girl. You can see that. Look while she's flexing, look at her arm, look at the definition a little bit in her arm, meaning that she picks up some things. Look at those arms. She cycles. She says she cycles. She's got thighs. She's got glutes, which means she says cycling is a thing, which means I believe her. Based on her build alone, I believe her. She doesn't have to be this uber teensy wincy eebity beebity thing to be into fitness. Some people are larger than others. How many times do I have to keep going through this with y'all? Based on her height, I'm going to assume that she's about 5'4". She's about my height, so she's about average height for a woman. So she's an average, I would say, mesomorphic endomorph, because she is a little on the top heavy side. She's got a little bit of, I'd probably say she's an endomorph, actually. She's an average endomorph. She's a larger woman. Her body doesn't shrink when she exercises. It gets bigger. It can happen, people. It just doesn't always happen to men. It happens to women too. How do you think the genetic code passes on to individuals? It doesn't sit with one gender based on systemic societal norms. It doesn't work that way. In order for you to get a Brock Lesnar, sometimes mom is the Brock Lesnar of the relationship. In Brock Lesnar's case, dad was the Brock Lesnar, but guess what? If you go and look at Brock Lesnar's daughter, she's about 5'5", but she looks like she's built. So guess what that means? Between her and her boyfriend, if her boyfriend and her decides to, get married, engage and get married and have children, they are going to have some Division I athletes. Because if I'm not mistaken, her boyfriend is like a football player, an offensive lineman of some sort. But again, you feel stupid. And then you talk about her eyebrows are drawn on. What are you? Really? Now, I mean, I could see if it's ridiculous. There's a level of eyebrow drawing where people be like, come on, bro. You doing way too much. But if it fits her face, which it seems to do, why are we judging her like that? You're trying to find love. Here you are judging her harshly in a way where you're trying to come down on her as if she dissed you. She didn't even say anything disrespectful for you to be coming out of your face like that. But anyway.
Drawn on. These are my brows.
These are my eyebrows,
my
dummy.
My bad.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Respected.
Mm-hmm.
It's respected. It's just like the perception. I just want to clear the perception up.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But thank you. That's a compliment. Thank you. That,
Already,
it's like
yeah,
I have a waist trainer on.
I thought it was. You snatched. You heard me? I thought it was a weight trainer. So I'm like, women be like really killing us about that. But like, you 25 minutes, you pooping out, and I'm still going. I done dealt with it. I mean, fine, bad things.
No,
but
I know what you mean. Once they take it off, it's like the stuff is like.
You ain't got no type of endurance. So it's like, yeah, that's crazy.
I understood.
Let's go down over here.
Wait. First of all, my man's talking about, giving the pipe. And that's not the same difference. You know what I'm saying? She's talking about getting on a bike and riding for 20, 30 miles. She's talking about taking a run for 2 or 3 miles. Can you do that? At any pace? Not just, running for speed, but just can you even handle that? Can you do that for a long period of time? Is that type of stuff. And you passing judgment.
Your name and age.
I want to hear the other dude.
Dan, 47.
All right. And Dan, why did you end up popping your balloon?
The reason I popped is because of the religion aspect. I think everybody's journey with the Lord or Jesus is personal. So I really don't share anything. Like, my relationship with the Lord is between me and the Lord. So
yes and no. You are trying to find a mate, sir. Respectfully. You're trying to find somebody that you're going to live with. You being a Christian, her being an atheist may not work. May not work. I'm not saying it's not, but may not work. Kind of hard for you to be taking your behind to church every day while she stays home, or while she does something in your eyes immoral, in your eyes that is not of God, right? Kind of hard for y'all to be on the same level like that. Now, granted, there are opposites that do attract. Case in point, right? Wife is clinically obese. I'm a personal trainer. More times than not, It's not her jam. But as she's starting to know, it's not about whether or not you fit this physical mold or not. It's about whether or not you're healthy, whether or not you have a quality of life. That is the primary concern for me, not how she particularly looks. So, but your personal relationship with Jesus is one thing, but when you are connecting with another person, you would hope that the person you're connecting with has a relationship with Jesus as well, if that's who you're into. If you have a relationship with Jehovah, if you have a relationship with Allah, if you don't have a relationship at all, that's your personal business in one sense, but you also have to find somebody that matches your energy, because one of those things is going to be very hard for you to meet up with in the relationship, especially if you're Jew and she's a Christian, or if you're Jew and she's a Muslim. It's going to be hard for you guys to meet in the middle. What are the children going to be raised to be? Whose traditional marriage rituals are you going to go through? All of these things have to be answered. And if one doesn't believe in God and the other one does, then it's going to be hard for you to turn around and get her to the altar. See my point? Use your head, bud. You might have lost a real one.
And it's just like I'm not a church goer or anything, so it just seems like she's looking for somebody with a more journey of religion than I am.
Okay. Got it.
He's absolutely correct. So I totally respect that. So I always tell people when I meet them, I have a saying, chase God with me. And when I say that, I mean, live righteously, however that looks like. And then we come together and hold each other accountable for our shortcomings, so I'm going to respect that and agree with you.
Yeah. But I'm like very happy to hear that you have a healthy journey. A lot of us being African American need more of that.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
And is he someone that's your type?
He is. I mean, he's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's
Thank
handsome.
you.
Yeah.
So on over here, your name and age.
I'm Jeffrey. I'm 42.
All right. And Jeffrey, why did you end up popping your balloon?
She said she lives in Houston and she liked picnics. Never planned a picnic. I don't plan on it. And I don't see myself going to Houston. I love Atlanta. So that would be why I popped.
Okay.
Okay, respectfully. All right, cool.
And now, is he someone that's your type?
No.
Okay, why not?
So I'm big on dental hygiene. Okay. I think your fit is well put together. I'm big on hygiene, period, especially the teeth. So it would be a no.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
New.
Okay, now we're going to pull out of this because that was the end of the point. But you see my point, guys. How are you going to criticize somebody for being something that you ain't? I don't understand that logic. I really don't. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. How do you criticize somebody on what they're looking like, and then on top of that be so wrong? Talking about her eyebrows are drawn on, they're not. Turn around and talk about she's got a waist train on, she doesn't. Saying she looks older than 42, she don't. I mean, I don't know what you've been around, but when I've been around a lot of 40-plus-year-old people, and let me tell you, they don't look like her. They don't. Not a lot of them, at least. Some of them do. Some of them look even better than 40-something. But no, you're criticizing. You're quick to criticize when you don't even have a leg to stand on. The truth is, you want to know what the truth is? I think that you turn around and sabotage that whole thing because you knew you didn't measure up. You wouldn't measure up. You couldn't measure up. So you tried to find things to nitpick and poke and prod at when it turns out that you were dead wrong on all of it. First of all, that dress is very form-fitting. I think you would see the outline of the waist trainer. Just me. I think you'd see the outline of the waist trainer. in some capacity, because waist trainers, even those subtle ones, they have ridges, and you would be able to see the ridges up in the rib cage area if it stopped at the rib cage area, or if it stopped right at the pubic crease. You would definitely see that. And one of the things that irritates me the most is that if you're going to be critical, be observant. At least be observant with your criticism. Be able to see and analyze what it is that you're analyzing based on that. Anyway, other thing. Well, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and on, well, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok, I asked you guys to deliver me some questions. And one of the things I like to do is I like to share some of the things that go on my Facebook page sometimes, right? And one of the things that I wanted to point out is this, right? First things first. I want to show you sometimes Facebook likes to send me clothes that you know, let's see. So let me put y'all on it. So at some point, I guarantee you're going to see me in some of these items, right? So first things first, this sweater's dope. I'm just going to let you know right now. Your boy is going to get one. As a matter of fact, your boy's going to get a catalog of them. It's just know that. It's going to happen. You're going to see me in it. I promise you, right? Just know that's going to happen. Right? So let's come out of that. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah. Your boy likes that. That's a nice suit. That's a nice jacket, right? That's also a nice jacket. I know it's the same pattern, but yes, as a matter of fact, you already know where it's going. So that's that, right? But I'm going to start reading some of you guys' questions that y'all have for me here on my channel. So one of the questions that I saw on there, hold on a minute because I got to get to it. But yeah, so it says, what foul stuff did you used to do to your brother? If you haven't figured it out, that's my little brother asking me this. And shout out to my little brother. He's about to turn St. Ides. He's about to turn Old English. Just to keep it between us, he's about to turn Old English in a few days. As a matter of fact, a week from today. No, a week from tomorrow, actually. A week from tomorrow. So, one of the questions I got, even though weirdly enough, I didn't get a fitness question at all, but I'm going to answer them. What are my top 10 movies, right? Top 10 movies. In no particular order, right? One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, American Beauty, American Beauty is up there. I'm sorry, because any movie that can tell you the ending in the beginning and you still act brand new at the end is a very good movie, right? Gladiator kills me every time when we get to the end of that movie. Every single time it kills me. I've watched that movie at least 20 times. And every time I've watched it, choked up at the end. For whatever reason. Well, I know the reason, but it just happens regardless. Avengers Endgame, Black Panther. So what are we on right now? We got One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, American Beauty, Black Panther, Endgame, Infinity War, Captain America Winter Soldier. That's number 6, right? And I'm not, like I said, it's not in exact order, so don't shoot the messenger. Tenet. Tenet is really good. Oh. What else? What else do I got? Y'all making me think on this one. That's a tough one. So I got 6 already. I need 4 more. 4 more movies that I know that are like my top. So Scary Movie 2. Hold on a second. Scary Movie 2. I'm sorry, that joint is funny. It's just funny. Absolutely just hilarious funny, right? I would have to say Beverly Hills Cop 1. You would lie your ass off. Anyway. I love it when you watch it on regular TV. When it used to come on regular TV, you be like, you would lie your head off. It is all messed up. When they try to change the curse words around, it's so funny when they edit that. But Harlem Nights is on my top 10. But I got 2 more. And there, yes, those are Eddie Murphy movies. Let me see. I would say Training Day. Training Day was crazy. And last but not least, Malcolm X. So those are my top 10 movies. Gotta put a Spike Lee movie in there, because if you know, you know, right? Next question. Top 10 actors. Right? Top 10 actors. So again, not in any particular order. Do not come for me. I'm not telling you number 1 is this person. Denzel Washington, number 1. The intensity that this man gives to everything when he's in an intense role, he is intense. Right? Then you've got Brad Pitt. You got Brad Pitt. You've got who else? Give me 1 second. Hold on. Viola Davis, that's 3. Joe Morton, that's 4. Joe Morton is absolutely number 4. Let me see. Who else? Meryl Streep, number 5. I would have to say Lawrence Fishburne. I definitely have to say Lawrence Fishburne. Huh. Who else? Joaquin Phoenix can do some acting. Let me see. Gary Oldman. I think Gary Oldman can act very, very well. Robert Downey Jr. actually can act. One of the things that Robert Downey Jr. is one of my best actors because even when he sounds like himself, the emotions that he conveys when he wants to convey it's there. You can feel it. He may not be able to change his voice a lot and, do all of those things like Gary Oldman, like Christian Bale. Those guys are vocal comedians. I mean, chameleons. They literally can change the way they sound and still perform at a high level when doing it. It's an incredible thing to experience when you see that happening. I think Tom Holland is starting to show me something. Just me. The level of intensity, the rage, the anger, the nice guy and all of that stuff, the happy to be here dude. He's all of those things. He could be that. And he's starting to show me something. Anthony Anderson. As a matter of fact, I have to say this. Anthony Anderson is a sleeper. That man can act his behind off. Only he could go from Scary Movie 4 to Law and Order to Blackish, and you believe all of it. Especially when he gets serious. When he turns around, he's not happy. He's in a angry state. You believe the anger. It's not, it don't feel forced. It don't feel manufactured. It doesn't feel like he's, you know what I mean? That dude right there, he could do it. That's in across the spectrum. I think I'm missing two more. Two more of my top 10 actors. My top 10, not necessarily the best actors. Chadwick Boseman was one. Chadwick Boseman was really one. I've watched a lot of his movies. I even watched 12 Bridges, and I thought the world of him. He was incredible. So, and last but not least, for me, Delroy Lindo. I think the man can act. I've actually acted across him myself, so I know what he's capable of. He's believable in those roles. You haven't talked to him outside of the camera. You haven't seen him off camera, and when you see him off camera and you see him get on and be on, then you get to learn and appreciate who he is, right? But anyway, for shits and giggles, I'm gonna also one of my old classmates asked my top 20 movies. He's in my top 20 movies. So I gave you my top 10 already, so I'm gonna give you 10 more. The Spider-Verse movies, if you know, you know. These are not cartoons. They are cartoons, but they're not. They're deeper than a cartoon. Let me put it that way. They're actually well written, well designed. It's beyond great. I'm waiting for the final part of that to come out because yes, that needs to be a thing. Taken was one of my favorite movies. I love Taken. Taken is a very good movie. Just a whoop your ass movie, you know? The Warrior, phenomenal movie. I believe it's The Harder They Fall. Yes. Yes. The Harder They Fall was peak cinema. I don't give a damn if you're black, white, Hispanic. That was a Western and a half. Excuse me. The Harder They Fall was a fantastic movie. I'm talking about the one with Jonathan Majors, not the Humphrey Bogart one, but the Jonathan Majors one. Wizard of Oz. I'd have to say Wizard of Oz. Always up there. Coming to America. Coming to America, despite my brother ruining that movie for me to the point where we played it so much I could literally at one point I could recite that movie verbatim. And I mean on time. Not even like, oh, I could just tell you the lines. I mean like I'm sitting there and going through and I'm literally mouthing the words and saying the words to the movie verbatim as they say them, how they're supposed to say them. It was, oh my God. As a 12-year-old, as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, oh my goodness, just watching that movie over and over again. This is part of the reason why the foul stuff to my little brother was happening, like telling him that oatmeals was plant boogers. Oh my God, that was funny. Oh, I used to tell my little brother stuff like that. Like, yeah, you know, it was, make him think he peed himself. Nothing diabolical, just warm water. Nothing crazy. Nah, it wasn't that diabolical, but just some warm water. Just enough to pass through, but not enough to wake him. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh, the plant boogers. The plant boogers was the best. That was peak me right there. That was peak older brother stuff. Now, in all fairness, I wasn't all bad because there was a time where I could have been a complete douchebag. My brother one time we had a cat, and I'd warned my brother several times, do not leave his bowl on the table where the cat could get it, because we didn't allow the cat to be on the table, but if the cat saw something it wanted, it'd jump on the table. You need to pop it, get it off the table. But if your back is turned and he's on the table, what are you going to do? You can't do nothing. He's already in the bowl, right? So one time he went somewhere. I don't remember where he went. He was in the house, but I don't know where he went. Maybe to the bathroom. But he left his cereal on the table. I came downstairs, and what do I see when I come downstairs? The cat on the table, in his milk, just lapping it up. I just fell out. And literally, I had to stop him from going back because part of me really wanted to see him do it just to gross him out, but my heart couldn't allow me to do that because I think I would be thoroughly grossed out. I think I'd have thrown up if it was me. So I was like, do not eat that. He was like, and I turned around, I took it and I threw it out. And he went up crying to my mom. And I had to tell him, dude, the cat was in your food. If I had let you eat it, you'd be mad. And then he realized that I really did save him from calamity. So there's that. Oh, my brother used to be the first one to fall asleep all the time over when we used to sleep over at my cousin's house, and we used to turn around and just pow. And he used to sleep with his butt up, and him and my cousin used to sleep with their butts exposed, and you'd be like, "What are you doing?" Pause, and just give him one, right? And he'd be the first one gone. Almost every time, first one gone. And then he got wiser, and then he started staying up a little later. And then we all finally was like, all right, it's time to go to bed now. We've been up a little bit too long, right? But I wasn't that bad, just so you know. I wasn't horrible. The first Matrix, the first Blade, mind altering when I watched those. I actually went to the movie theaters twice to see both of those movies. I don't go to the movie theaters twice to see much movies. The Dark Knight. I forgot about The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is crazy, y'all. I'm sorry. Christopher Nolan be dropping some bangers, but The Dark Knight was crazy. If you know, you know. If you watched it, you know I'm telling the truth. And not because it's a Batman movie, even though I like comic book movies. Les Miserables. I actually seen that in the theater, actual like theater acting, not the movies. But I did actually see the movie and I thought it was phenomenal as well. Hey, this one's dumb, but it's just mine. Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, the peak parody movie. On almost on par with Scary Movie 2. Almost on par. Scary Movie 2 is the creme de la creme of parody movies. Yeah, I mean, Airplane is the OG, but Airplane's the OG, and it holds up even to this day. But Scary Movie 2 was just absolute peak cinema, right? So there's that. I said The Harder They Fall. What did I see in the movie theaters that wasn't like a Marvel movie recently? To be fair, I watch a lot of movies. I mean, a lot of movies. A lot of movies. Oh, Lucy. Lucy was a great movie. Great movie. Never mind the action sequences and all of that. It was just a great movie. Liar Liar. Liar Liar is also a great movie. Holy Man, another Eddie Murphy movie that didn't get the credit it deserves. Eddie Murphy, let me tell you something about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is probably one of my favorite top actors, actually, now that I'm mentioning it. Eddie Murphy has done movies that, if you would stop looking at Eddie Murphy as merely a comedian, you would be so much more appreciative of Eddie Murphy's work. Eddie Murphy is a phenomenal actor. Eddie Murphy is still funny, but he's a phenomenal actor. Holy Man was actually better than you thought it was. Mr. Church, beautiful movie. I thought he should have been nominated for an Oscar for that one. Didn't. I think he got robbed for Dreamgirls. Just me. Eddie Murphy as an actor, never mind the comedy. We're not even touching the comedy. Eddie Murphy as an actor is actually better than you think he is. Metro, Norbit, Harlem Nights, which is supposed to have some funny elements to it. Boomerang. Boomerang was actually better than you thought it was too. And again, I don't think Eddie Murphy needs my defending, but Eddie Murphy's up there. Eddie Murphy's up there. And we need to stop being so disrespectful to Eddie Murphy's movies, because Eddie Murphy dropped some really good heavy hitting movies, but we just want him to be a Nutty Professor, and we want him to be yes. We want to see him in Coming to America all the time, and it's like, no, we gotta give the man his props. Eddie Murphy is a phenomenal actor. What do you think, chat? What if those of y'all who are watching right now? I am on top 10 actors that I forgot to name. What do you think? Who are your top 10? Somebody, whoever's watching right now, who are your top 10 actors? Who are your top 10 movies? I want to hear it. So, I'm like I said, Eddie Murphy personally is probably one of my, I would say he's up there as one of my favorite actors. So, what movie did you watch out there in YouTube land? What movie did you watch that you felt like you can never not watch that movie ever again? That's me, right? Another question I got was, would I approach a woman in the gym as a single man? If I were a single man, would I approach a woman in the gym? This day and age, there has to be something there. There has to be, and when I say something there, I'm talking about that goes beyond physical. I'm not going to go through the rigmarole of being accused of being a creep at the gym. You know, it's just, that's not what I go there for, number one. I mean, obviously, people are fit and they have amazing bodies here and there, but if I were single, would I approach a woman in the gym? And my advice to you people out there in YouTube land, I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't. Like I said, there has to be more going on there for me to actually decide that would be something that I would have done. Like, if I met my wife in the gym, I don't think me and her would be married. If I met my wife in the gym, and my wife could be, Miss Fitness USA, if for all intents and purposes, and I still wouldn't have approached her. I wouldn't have. Not in that setting, because it seems as though my priorities are wrong. like I said, in order for me to have approached my wife, I would have had to know her longer than I did when I met my wife. When I met my wife and got with her, I knew my wife for roughly about 3 weeks before we really like got with each other, and then all of a sudden like got with each other, and then all of a sudden got married, you know, or be in a relationship. I wouldn't know somebody at the gym for 3 weeks and try to approach them. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't. Like I said, I would have in the gym setting, I would have had to know her for years. I would have to know her for years. She would have had to know me through many of conversations in the gym, just shooting the shit. That would be closer to the lines of where that would have came from. It would be the most organic thing to ever happen. If I were to approach my wife in the gym, it wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. I just know that for a fact. My advice to men in the gym, as a matter of fact, women in the gym as well. If you are seriously interested in somebody at the gym, my advice to you is get to know them outside the gym and, you know, link up with them that way, because otherwise, nope, not even. Because you coming on to me, it seems suspicious, as, you know, I don't know what you really want. And are you doing this because you see me? Is it me you want? I don't know what's going on. Is it just the attention you're getting? I don't know. And I don't want to be looking at you, see you as you are, and you think that that's all I think you have to offer. You know what I mean? Clearly, physical attraction always has to be there, but to pretend that it doesn't exist is also lame. But also to seemingly harass people is not my jam. I don't want to be that guy. Like, yo, he hit on me, and then to make matters worse, you meet one woman and you approach her, let her know that she's attractive to you, and she dismisses you, right? And I don't mean disrespectfully. She just says, no, thank you, I'm not interested, right? A few weeks later, a month or two later, a year later, another attractive female comes into the building. You like what you see all the way around, and you approach her. Now it seems like you trying to pick up women at the gym, when the truth is, that's where you frequent. It's kind of like going to work, right? And meeting your wife at work. You more than likely are going to meet your spouse at work, at a place you frequent a lot. You're just going to. Whether it be the club, whether it be the library, whether it be the church, whether it be the gym, whether it be your job. Any of those places, you're going to meet your future spouse, unless you are such a homebody that other people will have to find somebody for you. Seriously. Whatever your hobbies are, all of those things in combination would be the places that you're more than likely going to meet your spouse. Period. Which one? Don't know. So, guys, I've been on here for over an hour, and I'm going to get back to my Christmas. I just finished beating the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. No, I don't play for the Giants because this is face of the franchise for Madden. It's not franchise mode. It's not normal franchise mode. It's face of the franchise mode, where I'm a created player and I'm that dude. So that's all that is. So with me doing all of that, I am going to tell you thank you. For those of you who provided me questions, I really appreciate it. And also, if you have any more questions, feel free to put them on the comments below. I appreciate everybody who watched, I appreciate everybody who participated. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. I hope your new year is going to be better. And lastly but not least, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Have a nice day. Be the best you, and class is Stoutt.